good. How are you? Do you want to leave?
So we filed, I don't know when it was, maybe 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. We handed in a whole bunch of criminal complaints.
Yeah.
And basically
We tried emailing and calling for 10 days. Trevor was sent 5 emails and I think 8 phone calls. None were responded to. I myself sent an email.
Oh, yeah.
I called and left a voice message asking him to call me when he came on duty. And Jolene, who was also with us the first day file, she also, I think, emailed. Not one single response until yesterday, where he basically said some big spiel about not having evidence or whatever. But we have evidence. We haven't been allowed to bring it forward. We've emailed and called several times, and we have more evidence. And so
we
yeah,
have 100 more people who want to file criminal complaints.
so we have a few
for
options.
Exactly the same code.
Yeah, we either want all of our stuff back, and we'll end up filing a complaint because obviously there was no investigation. None of the people that submitted a complaint were contacted for any type of reason to follow up or get a whatever it's called.
So basically, what we want to know is we want to know why the case was reviewed. Because I've written this down because it's easier for me to read. Why the case was reviewed without any opportunity for us who have actually filed the criminal complaint to provide any evidence. We also want to find out why no phone call and no email was responded to, which obviously, you know, for the general public comes across as neglect of duty, whoever was in charge of this. We also need to know that you guys are willing now to receive evidence because we have evidence to put in for the case. And would you prefer paper or digital copies? We'd also, if this has been closed, we'd also like our criminal complaint papers back, or at least a photocopy of each one, because then obviously we'll need to take it in a different route. But yeah, we submitted this and literally heard nothing from anyone, even though we called an email.
Extortion.
And we just got told, no, we're not going ahead with it.
What's your complaint?
I can give you an actual complaint form here.
No, I don't.
Oh no, here, take the complaint form. It's all in there. It's basically, for me to go through, it'd just be easier for you to look at it yourself.
Okay. So
you're not gonna look at it.
extortion has a certain, you know, what's your background or who have you spoken
That
to?
makes no difference. It's basically, I'm not here just for me.
Yeah.
We filed 100 complaint forms,
Right.
who all believe that they are being extorted by the people listed here. We also have 100 more, but I can tell you now.
You need to have a vaccine to do.
Yeah, to work, to keep a job, to go and see their daughter dance, to eat in a restaurant.
Yeah.
It goes from the very mundane to the very 2 weeks to flatten the curve, and now it's 3 jabs to keep your job. So yeah, there is a level of extortion which we have the evidence that we haven't been able to submit.
Have you seen a civil lawyer?
No civil lawyer. All the civil lawyers that we've spoken to, human rights lawyers, everything, they all cite conflict of interest.
Right.
Because
and the Supreme Court's position on it, you're aware of, right?
Yep, is that mandatory vaccinations in Canada are not lawful because it violates the Canadian Constitution.
Well, actually, to appear in Supreme Court, you must be vaccinated as well.
No, well, I've got it right here, and I can happily show it to you.
Yep.
So this is the Canadian National Report on Immunisation, which was released by Health Canada.
In 1996. So
Yep,
that's
but
outdated.
no, hang on. That would be like saying that a case that has been cited from the 1800s isn't valid. That just doesn't make any sense. Hang you. Give me a second. It says page 1. Now, last time I checked, the Constitution hasn't changed. So it says, unlike some other countries, immunisation is not mandatory in Canada. It cannot be made mandatory because of the Canadian Constitution. So unless someone can show me in between 1996 and today, the amendment that has been made to the Canadian Constitution saying that if you're not vaccinated against one particular virus, we get to tell you what freedoms you can enjoy, I'll happily look at that. But last time I checked...
It doesn't really specify freedoms. It says that, and no one right now has to be vaccinated. It's
Yeah.
just, there are certain things that you are unable
That is,
to do.
which is coercion and extortion. By saying to someone that you don't get to enjoy certain freedoms because you're not vaccinated, that is extortion. That is the very definition of extortion.
private establishments such as restaurants are private establishments.
Doesn't matter. Could they have a sign on their door saying no black people allowed? Nope. Exactly. Just like they also cannot discriminate based on either a physical or mental disability or a irrational fear of an illness or disease. That gets us into the human rights issue, which we're all dealing with. Who was the original?
Pause.
Yep. So we appreciate that you guys think we might be a little bit loopy and crazy in this, anti-vax. We are none of those things. We are simply here for freedom of choice. There is absolutely no law, unless someone can cite me a law right now, that says that I have to be vaccinated against a certain type of virus for me to enjoy my freedoms.
The law would be under the Public Health Act.
That is, yeah, so what, I've got the Public Health Act with me. So do you want to tell me the actual paragraph in there that says that I have to be double vaccinated? Because I don't have to be vaccinated against TB. I don't have to be vaccinated against the measles. I don't have to show a negative HIV test. None of these things. It's just this one virus.
Well, you don't catch HIV by standing next to someone, so it's not even a comparison, really.
So what if someone was cooking your food?
So what about the what about the other one I used? Okay, but you're now focusing on the one that you think you can win the argument.
I'm not drawing a comparison there because there's
all right, okay.
I think there are ways.
I also said tuberculosis. Tuberculosis kills 1.4 million people a year. So if you could please tell me then why I don't need a vaccine for tuberculosis to eat in a restaurant.
It's not circulating here.
You don't know that. You don't. You know what? Oh my
Okay,
God.
well, let's just go back to the act. Yeah, go back to the.
Yeah. So anyway,
Really right now.
I'm not really going to sit here and argue the if, ands, or buts. I'm a Canadian citizen. I have the Canadian Constitution on my side.
Have you been to MLA?
Yep, we've done all these things.
We've done everything. This is our last resort. Coming to people who actually are supposed to uphold the law. This is our last resort.
What was the response from the people?
We don't get a response.
Not get no response.
We don't get a response. We've been to Province House. We've protested outside Province House quite a few times. We've written letters. We've emailed. Nobody responds.
What's your MLA?
Mine just
Henson,
changed.
he doesn't respond. I've written Houston Strang since September, since the mandates came up for kids, which I think is crazy, but anyway. And not one email has come back to me. Not one phone call has been returned.
Likewise.
So we weren't here to argue with this. We were here to either someone's going to take our evidence and do the proper investigation, or you're going to give us a reason as to why we're not, and you're going to give us all of our paperwork that we've already submitted back, and we'll take the judicial way. And unfortunately, we're going to file a complaint because it is supposed to be that you guys investigate this, and there's been no investigation.
Not one person has been contacted.
My understanding is they have looked at what's been submitted and they've talked to the Crown and they're not willing to proceed. Right?
So they talk to the very people that we are saying are doing the illegal stuff.
Who else would you like me to talk to?
Well, all of the people
that
that submitted complaints. Not one
Right,
person
but
was
the complaint
contacted.
is essentially the same, right? That they do not want
No,
to have
no.
to
Every single complaint, every single complaint is
because
different.
some of them have been injured. No, actually, we have other things. There's people that have been injured by the vaccination.
Yeah.
So that's a whole other charge.
And they would have.
And we haven't even been able to submit stuff because in 10 days, nobody
civil
responded.
action that they could do. It doesn't. That is not a response.
How is it not? We're actually citing the violation of the criminal code.
If there's a vaccine injury,
Yeah.
it is not a police issue. It would be a civil issue.
Do you know what I find? I find that you're picking out the little things, and that's what you're focusing in on. Bottom line, I don't want to sit here and argue about any of that. We have submitted 100 criminal complaints, all the same criminal complaints.
If a person is injured by a vaccine,
That's
it's
not what I'm
a
talking
criminal
about.
complaint.
Why are
It
we
is a
talking
civil
about that?
matter.
Why are we talking about
You
that?
just brought it up.
No,
And you said
she
it's a criminal complaint.
brought that
It
up.
is not.
That is what we're saying is that it ranges from the very mundane to the very serious. But not one person who we submitted a criminal complaint form has been contacted. Not one person has had their statement taken. So how can an investigation have been done?
So, no, it's not.
Oh, we will be filing a professional. We will be filing a complaint as well. But thank you for bringing that up.
Each individual person, they have an individual valid criminal complaint.
Yeah.
Will be, if they're an adult,
Yeah.
will be submitting their own
Which they did.
individual valid
They did.
complaints.
Every single
So
one
they-
of these
no, no.
is an individual
So
with
they-
their name,
no,
address,
no,
contact
no.
number, and
So
sign.
Not you on their behalf,
Yeah.
them individually.
Okay. And where is
So
the and what?
if a person has a vaccine injury, that is not a police issue.
No,
They
I'm
will
not
be
saying it
told
is.
It is not a police
I'm not
issue.
saying it is.
Okay. If they do not, it's basically the Public Health Act. Our hands are tied at this
They're
point.
not tied.
They are.
They're not.
They are.
The Constitution, the Charter of
My
Rights is above.
recommendation to you would be to get a civil lawyer as a group of you
Yeah.
to be maybe paid for it together,
Yeah.
and they can explore that.
What a horrible country we live in that we cannot even trust police officers who have sworn to uphold the law. Basically, right now, you're being a political activist.
No.
You're being a hired thug for the people, for the people who were voted in to
enforce
represent us.
The acts and laws that are in place.
But
at this
you're
time.
not. But you're
Not
choosing.
1996,
You're
but at
choosing
this
which.
time.
So
You're
is there
choosing
a
which act to
new-
enforce. Because we've cited
This guy.
the actual criminal code that we believe has been violated.
But your interpretation of what I think you think is violated.
Yeah. But this is your interpretation because no investigate.
By
How have they
the Crown
determined
Attorney.
it? But how have they determined? Okay, so who are the Crown Attorneys who looked at it? Can you find out their details
have
for me?
they have
If
all
you
been
could go
involved.
find, well, we
We
would
just
like,
wanna see
no.
that
You've
proof,
just said.
but I don't
You've
believe
just
it.
said that the Crown Attorneys looked at it and determined. I would like to know who those Crown Attorneys were, please.
Who do you think is in
I don't know.
consultation in the,
Can you
with the
well, can
Public
you go and
Health
find
Act?
out who those? Can you go and get the names of the Crown Attorneys who
You can
dealt
call
with
the
it?
Crown Attorney's office.
So
and
you're
ask
not
about
willing to do this?
vaccination, their-
You're
their
not willing to
status.
go and get me in an investigation that has
What's
just.
your name?
Does that matter? Exactly.
No.
You can call me good citizen. So anyway,
But are you a complainant? Like,
I'm one of the complainants. Yeah.
Well, you said like there's a file that was investigated by.
No, it wasn't investigated. No investigation has been done.
All right. So, but there is a file that was created.
That was created. We handed in 100 criminal complaint forms. Yeah.
Who made up these criminal complaint forms?
We
Where
handed
did you
in
get them
100 criminal complaint forms. We were told that a file would be opened and an investigation would happen. We then called 10 times to submit evidence. We emailed how many times?
So 8 phone calls, 5 emails.
8 phone calls, 5 emails. Not one response back from anyone in regards to this case number.
Who did you
Then-
email and call?
To Constable Haas, because he
Did
was.
he advise you of the schedule?
No.
Okay, because our guys they work 4 days on, 4 days off.
Okay, yes,
If they
but we
have 4
called
days
in.
off, they're off for
Yeah,
12.
we would call and they'd say he's coming in tonight. And my specific thing, I said, I'm leaving my name and my number. Can you have him call me when he comes in? Nothing. There was no emails responded to. Trevor, who's another guy that's been involved with this, he's the one who sent several emails and phone calls, and in 10 days, he never got anything back at all. So he basically said, we have not yet submitted our evidence for you to review. That's why I've been calling you and emailing you for the past 10 days. I've received no reply to my 8 phone calls and 5 emails. This comes across as a neglect of duty, which is unlawful. I have evidence for our case, and I'm sure you're willing to receive it. What is the best way for me to provide the evidence? Are paper copies preferred, digitals? And then he said, Trevor, who wrote this email, said, in your email, you have stated these subjects of complaint and making decisions and recommendations based off of research and directives. Could you please inform me of the research you were citing? And please send me a copy of the research. Also, what directives are you citing? Please inform and send me a copy. And then he said, I thank you
Do
for
you
your
have a copy of the Public Health Act?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys cannot, like, if these are adults that have an individual criminal complaint, and like I said, vaccine injury is a civil matter, that is not
Yeah.
something we're
We've already
doing,
established that.
right?
Yep.
Okay. The Public Health Act and
But I've also, but I've also, but I've
says
also
that
asked the
you're
Public
being-
Health Act. I've also asked for the actual paragraph in the Public
Right.
Health Act where this
That's what we're
where
looking
this
for.
is actually set into law. Nobody can cite it. Nobody can provide it.
Because what it says is that they can implement an immunization program, but it
But please
cannot
note in
be
Nova
mandated.
Scotia that there is no ability to implement a mandatory immunization program, even in a public health emergency. That is actually within the Nova Scotia health guidelines.
To be clear, no one has to get vaccinated. There's just some
But if
places
you don't get
You
vaccinated,
lose
but if
your
you don't get
job.
vaccinated, you lose your job. That is extortion.
Well, that could be a civil matter with your who's your employer.
If that doesn't matter. But if my boss turned around to me and said, if you don't sleep with me, you're going to lose your job. That's extortion.
Right.
If you don't put this in your body that you don't want, you're going to lose your job. It doesn't matter what it is. Whether it's a vaccine, whether it's your boss's dick, it doesn't matter. That is extortion. By telling someone that they have to do something that they don't want to do, or they're going to lose their job. Now, we can get into employment law and all that. I'm very well versed in that too. But you're citing Public Health Act. Tell me what paragraph in the Public Health Act it is.
The province.
Just say you don't know. Just save us all a lot of trouble and say, go get it then. Then go get it then. Then go get me the paragraph, please.
Sorry. What is your name?
That doesn't matter.
Okay. I think we're done here. You can follow
Can I
up
get your
with
business
people.
card, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can we have our other...
You've been extraordinarily professional. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
your professionalism, sir.
What about getting back to our...
Other people not so much.
Are there complaints? Do we not get that back?
It really would be easier, Officer Chambers, if you just said, I don't know what I'm talking about. In those situations,
Actually, I do.
you don't, because I've asked you to cite the law.
If you have a name and an email, I can send you some things.
Thank you.
I'm not going to stand here and be yelled at by you without a mask on.
Oh, we're outside. You obviously are very, very uneducated.
That's an application at the office here, and then otherwise I suggest you go through the professional standards, like if you search in our website, you have professional standards complaints, and then you can just basically deal with that.
So we have to get a form to get our stuff back.
Yeah. So there is that FOIA process, right, which you can apply for
Yep.
any information that was submitted by the person.
Yep.
And then they'll return that back to you. And if again, like you said, like you're unhappy with the issue, you're well within your right to file a complaint. In which case, like our
Thank you.
professional standards would be able to like address that.
Yep.
Right? And to speak to, so while we can't speak to the issue of that because I haven't looked at the file, then they'll be able to speak to the issue.
Do you know what's funny? No one's looked at the file.
Right.
And that's the...
Well, I don't know that, right? Like, so I don't know that. What I'm saying is,
I think we can all make an educated guess.
Yeah, but that's the process for how
Yeah.
you would end up.
You see, and this is the issue that we have to deal with is, we come to you guys for help.
Yeah.
Because you guys are supposed to be completely unbiased, unpolitical, bipartisan, doesn't matter. The law is the law. And that isn't being...
Investigators email whoever is the contact on the file, okay, and they will follow up and they will provide you the information.
Okay.
I think you said that, but you do have to understand is that we waited 10 days. Like, that's why we're just kind of like,
We're
trying...
extremely busy, and you have to understand that with 25 protests a day, shortages of people due to immunocompromised people that work here, and numbers, and a whole other situation, that it's sometimes there's priorities, okay?
But the
Domestic Code 1 weapons
Hey,
calls.
don't, please don't.
You
I'm
guys,
not raising my
it's
voice.
down here,
I know,
okay?
you're getting
Those
really...
things take time,
I
and
want
you
you
should
to
be
be patient. I
patient.
barely have said anything. I
You
feel
need to
really
be
attacked
patient.
right now.
Because she feels she can pick on you.
You need to be patient, okay?
So is there a time limit, I guess,
I don't
in
even have your
which
name, so I
how-
will.
I actually gave my ID when I came in.
Yeah,
so
she
like,
gave her ID when she
Not
came
me.
in.
So I will get the investigator to give you a call and an email.
Is there, I guess, an
When they
acceptable time for, I don't know how long they have to review these documents in all fairness, or if they...
I think it's more so the fact, Morgan, that 8 emails and 5 phone calls have gone completely
In 10
ignored
days.
and unanswered in 10 days. Plus extra.
He could have just said, I'm busy, I'll get to you.
Right.
when I
So the
Yeah.
only thing I will say in relation to that, and I can't speak to it because
Mhm.
I don't have it in front of me, but we do, like, we work a schedule that if I were to take what we call vacation for a week, while, to the average person, because they work like a 40-week schedule, that means they're off for effectively 9 days. For us, it works out to 12 days,
Yep.
so in a 10-day period, there
I've
could be
explained that in my.
like that.
I don't know.
But most people also in that case would have an autoresponder on their email.
They do not. Those guys do not have assigned cell phones. Each of their phone numbers do not have assigned cell phones. Okay?
So so those avenues would be like, the staff sergeant said, she'll make sure that the investigators contact the complainant in the file. And certainly you're well within your right if you feel like it wasn't investigated or what have you to file another complaint.
Yep.
And that information is accessible on our website. There's phone numbers there for professional standards as well. The emails which they can look at, and the FOIA process would get you from the person who originally filed it, right? Like, because obviously FOIA pop is one of these ones where if you ask about information on a file,
He was here when we
then,
Yeah, I was here.
Well, and I'm just using it as an example.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it's not applicable to you.
Yep.
Then it's not going to be released to you.
Yeah.
Right? So, but in the other end, you
No, we
can-
understand that. We've already done
and the
many FOIA pops.
Right.
So
So the
we
requesters
understand,
can
yeah.
ask for those
Also,
documents
the
back.
people that you have there, they are adults. They have to, if they have a valid criminal complaint, they would have to lay their own complaint. This is not a class action suit. That is not how criminal investigations work. You cannot be the guy for the people to put everybody's complaint forward. They have to, if they have a valid complaint, they can call us at the non-emergency number and lodge their complaint. If upon entry of that complaint that there appears to be a criminal code offense, then that would be investigated.
So you're saying that nobody can file a criminal complaint on behalf of somebody else that they've filled out and signed, and you're literally dropping them off. So
No, they would like homeless people.
so if
to
they
pay
so if
to
I
come
so
and-
so
They
if,
don't have to pay to
no,
file a
hang on.
No, but they would have to pay to get.
So if I
yours
put this in an
is
envelope
all
and send
I'm
it through
saying.
Canada Post, you wouldn't be able to accept it because the person who wrote the complaint
There's
isn't
online
handing it in.
recording, and there's a phone
Yeah.
recording, so people can call from their payphone, they can call from
Yeah.
their cell phone, and they can record.
I
that.
don't.
And then what happens is a police officer, I don't know who wrote that. A
Well,
police
you
officer
do.
would
You
then-
do because their name and address
No,
and contact details are on it, and they
you
signed it.
have-
And they signed
you could
it.
have written all of those
I
yourself.
could, but good
So-
policing would be to contact each of
Right.
these people.
So they can call us and lodge their complaint,
Yeah.
and then we will decide whether or not there is a criminal complaint, and if so, a statement will be taken
I
by
don't
a police officer.
believe that is has anything to do with this. I don't believe that a case or a criminal complaint would not be accepted because this person didn't hand it in. I think that would be probably
And
the
where are
most
all these
ridiculous
people?
thing.
Are they in Metro?
All
or-
over Nova
They're
Scotia.
all
So
over
we
Nova
take
Scotia.
Halifax Regional Municipality,
Yep.
Halifax District. So if it's Cole Harbour, if it's Sackville, if it's Timberley,
Yep.
our city police.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, not us.
Oh no, we'll also be going to the RCMP as well
we
after
don't
this.
have jurisdiction there.
Yeah.
So if it's
No, and I
Halifax,
understand that.
Bedford, Spryfield, Dartmouth, those areas that falls within our area.
Yeah.
But
That would obviously be where the investigation comes in, and they would sift through, and because there are lots of complaints in
I
there
just
who
want
are from this.
you to understand this is not a civil class action suit
I know
here.
it's not. It's a criminal. It's a
But you're
criminal
treating
complaint.
it like that
I'm
with
not.
your collection of-
No, I'm not. No, I'm not, because I'm literally the messenger to go here. These people have a criminal complaint. Look it up. Please
You're
just do
seeking
your
these-
job.
You're seeking these people out.
No, I'm not.
They've actually reached out to
They've
us.
actually
And
they've
who
actually
are you
sought
guys?
me out.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I don't know what that is.
I've-
Do you just want a name? Or I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're basically we are citizens, yeah, and you already have her ID, but we are citizens who are concerned with how the road that Nova Scotia is going down through our elected officials. That's really where we're at.
What's your name?
My name's Gary.
What's your last name, Gary?
Does it matter? I know, but I don't need to give you my.
To contact you.
No, you already have our contact details.
I have
You-
people that
you-
have serious
you-
things
you have
happening right
all
now.
of our contact
that I would
details.
prefer.
So
Then you
losing
can.
your
We'll
job's
deal,
not
we'll
serious.
deal with this lovely officer here. Thank you for your time.
Is there no other Gary in your?
I did not
Nope.
refuse my name or any of my contact
wanna
information. I
provide-
would love to.
Oh, there you go.
Morgan. It's Guptill. Guptill.
And a phone number for you?
902-222-7899.
Would you like to provide yours so I can contact you?
Sure. Gabrielle. The last name is Finlay.